I hope some of you might have traced the passages from the original sources of books. Yesterday's sentences, wonderful. I didn't find anywhere in Cosmic Fire. Of course, it is a mysterious book. So, from the same book, we will proceed with some more practical meditations. Here is a subheading given by the master, that is the Tibetan, only through the printed books of Alice Bailey and not the archaic manuscripts. The heading is effects of some colors. He explains about yellow specifically here, about yellow color. Much good can come from the frequent use of the color yellow. One should surround himself with this color. It serves to keep inflowing energies in the head, or to prevent their descent no lower than the diaphragm. That means the meditation of the yellow color helps us in such a way that the energies that are flowing from the outer space into us, they flow into the head through the various higher centers, that is the brow center and the throat center, and in very, very, very rare cases from the head center. Generally, many people receive the energies through the throat center, and also the average human beings lose much energies also through the throat center, because we do not know how to steer the energies. Just as there are gears to the motor car, yes, there are gears to the throat center also, by handling which you can direct the currents from space into yourself or from yourself into the outer space. That is why the passages of throat and nasal cavities are linked up with the lungs, which form the mechanism of the income and outgo of energies, the grossest form of which is respiration. Air is the grossest form of the energies that flow to and from us. Conversely, unless the finer forces flow to and from us, air cannot flow as our respiration, and the element earth and water in the tissues of the lungs, along with the element of air in the form of the gases that are there in the tissues of the lungs, they cannot pulsate, as a result of which the lungs cannot make the pulsation. So there are many finer forces that are flowing into and from us, making channels for the grosser like air, water and earth to imitate the movement of these forces, which we find as the phenomenon of respiration. That's the reason why respiration is self-proposed and automatic, along with the function of the heart. The finer forces pulsating at the heart, they are making the grosser tissues of the heart pulsate. And the finer forces are making the grosser tissues of the lungs to respire. So we have fire and air as the higher forces, water and earth as the lower or grosser forces. In the element fire, there are heat and light working. Light is working in the form of mind, thought and intelligence and creative activity. Creative activity. These are called the tongues of flame in the secret doctrine, because they are called so in the scriptures. They are all the rays of the fire element. And with each of these rays, 49 devas will be working with each of these rays. That is what the Rig Veda teaches us. And when they are working, there will be inflow and outflow of energies, which can be compared with the finer lines of force working at the poles of a magnet. When you look or examine a magnet, you cannot feel that these forces are there. You may examine the dust of the magnet under a high power microscope. You don't find anything at all, because these lines, they belong to the force plane and not the matter plane of existence. No instrument man-made can measure the existences that exist beyond physical matter, except your capacity to feel. That is the cooperation of the devas of fire with the cooperation of the devas of water. This cooperation makes you feel. Then we say we feel that there is magnetism. We conduct some experiment. We observe the behavior of the magnet. So from the matter plane, you are entering into the behavior plane with the cooperation of the devas of fire and water. And then the resultant is, you say that you feel that the magnet has magnetism. So magnet belongs to the physical plane of existence. Magnetism belongs to the energy plane of existence. Your feeling belongs to the cooperation of energy plane and mind plane in you. The resultant is what we call feeling. And when a little more mind is working with feeling, we call the process perception. Above perception, we know how our mind works. At least we can pretend to know that there is a mind existing. Below this level, we cannot even pretend to know that a mind exists. So here, the energies in a human being come and go through the mechanism of the cerebrospinal system. It contains the cortical cells of the brain and the nerve tissue. These two put together form the traffic of the devas. So they are the highways and the streets in the cities of the devas. The path from head to spinal column is the highway that runs through Europe. And wherever there is a town or village, there are bypass roads into which the cars of the Devas divert and enter into the town, village or city and honor the traffic rules of that energy center. Then they drive their cars in obedience with the traffic rules of that city. And then they find out the necessities of the citizens of that city, because there are all groups of devas existing there. They have no sleep, because if they sleep, our body is to be thrown immediately to the cemetery. That's why in the scriptures the devas are described as having no sleep and having no wink of the eye, and they do not need food. What we eat and drink will be distributed by these devas to us, the human fellows existing in this body, to produce the energy fuel, that is fuel that is to be burnt to make the stored energy manifest. So these devas utilize the food materials in decomposing the food material into the required chemicals, which emit the required calories of heat, and the heat is once again transformed into energy, and then we are living and we are getting married and begetting children. This is a short story about the devas. So these devas have to work night and day without sleep, and they have no Saturdays and Sundays. If they are also foolish enough to have Saturdays and Sundays, they will go to some journey on the weekend and immediately we are weekend. So these fellows with their cars enter into the cities and inquire what the groups of devas need. The devas have only needs and no desires, whereas we human fellows have more desires than needs. For example, even though all of you have wristwatches with you, I too want to own or possess a watch. Whereas time can be known from any one of the watches here. That is how we human fellows behave. So we have more desires than needs, so that we often ignore needs and are entangled in desires and go into complications. And again we have to solve our own complications and no one is there to solve. This dirty procedure we call life. Whereas the devas have only needs. Suppose we don't supply their needs, what happens? They wait and we die. They don't die. So they are neither the losers nor the gainers with what which is supplied by us to the body. If we supply good food material in proper time, the devas use it in a correct way and we are healthy. But if we begin to supply wrong things, we supply many such things, coffee, tea, and the costlier liquids, more costly. Then the devas often rebel to distribute this dirty matter into the body. But with great reluctance, we force them to distribute it. And the result is, our bodies are rotten, and the moment the devas feel that this abode is stinking and foul smell, they have their own chartered aeroplanes they take off into the higher planes immediately. And then our relatives search for us in this body. We are not found, we disappear. But the minerals are there to appear to our relatives for a few hours. And the cleaning groups of devas who decompose the matter and restitute the materials to the original sources. This is what is happening daily. And when these forces are entering into us, they enter through the eyes and ears, through the nose. Why you laugh? Yes, it is more beautiful than my nose.
It is better as mine.
But I can't draw the most beautiful nose, but it is more beautiful than my nose. No. That's it. Unless you feel it beautiful, you can't take a photo of it. It's a sure sign that you love that nose. And through the mouth. All these things are taken through the brow center and the throat center. And in the form of respiration by the heart center, which includes the activity of the heart and lungs. So, when you meditate upon the yellow color frequently, that is golden yellow color, the energies are attracted only through the higher centers. That is brow center, throat center, and heart center, and very rarely head center. And when these energies flow to the lower centers also, that is the solar plexus, the spleen center, and the base center, then what happens? The lower centers will be stimulated more than what is needed. As a result of which, we have the activity of the lower three centers as our daily routine activity. That is matter, force, and mind. What is the activity of these three centers? To eat and drink, to sleep and awake, to dance, to feel pain or sorrow and fear, and to play sex, and then die. And our requirements include only the requirements of these activities. Suppose I am only in these three centers. Then you bring a book called Cosmic Fire to me and show it to me and say this is dictated by the Tibetan master. Then I will be eating a cock and I question you, what does this book contain? Then you say the three forms of fire. Then I ask you, what does this fire cook for me to eat? Suppose you say, these are more glorious and valuable things. Then I will bite one more piece of meat and question, what if? Then you have no answer. So you have to accept defeat and take away the book of Cosmic Fire and place it into your rack once again. So there is no response to the higher vibrations. But if we have the higher centers, they are guarded by the direct traffic of the superior officers, the higher and nobler devas. And in these realms, the Lord of that plane of consciousness is the plane himself. There is no difference between the container and the contained. There is no difference between the house and the dweller in the house. Whereas in the lower three centers, the dweller is different from the house. So the terms of living differ from plane to plane. So when the traffic of the devas is there upon the three higher centers, then they exist in us in the form of our own self-awareness and self-consciousness, which means an instinctive and automatic self-control. Whereas for the fellow living in the three lower centers, self-control means great strain and drudgery. It is as difficult as throwing petroleum upon houses and setting them to fire, or bombarding the cities of enemies. So it is so difficult, and that is the reason why no one of these three planes can give us self-control. Can our hand help us? Unless we live in the hand. We should first help the hand by living in it. Then the hand can hold something for you. The three lower centers are like that. The mind is a foolish fellow who has no capacity to help us. He is only a born servant who can never be a master. Self-control belongs to the three higher planes. When it starts from the higher planes, automatically the lower planes are under control. When it starts from the lower plane, it is the stimulation of energies without awareness. Starting a motor car and pressing an accelerator by one who does not know driving at all in the busiest city of Munchen. So an inevitable crash of all the vehicles by a bombardment of food or activity or sex life. Yes, that is what happens when the lower centers are stimulated first. So the human constitution is a capsule of three principles: matter, force and consciousness. When stimulation is received by consciousness first, then the energies will be controlled and the matter of the body will be controlled. But when the stimulation is received by the physical, that is the matter and the force first, then there is wrong stimulation and there is emotionalism and sensualism indulging in mind and senses, and the vehicle goes to pieces because it is not used according to the intention. This is about the control, self-control. The mind is not at all the center of self-control. Beyond the mind there is the fourth principle called the will, which is the central principle or the fulcrum principle. And above that there are the three higher principles which exist in us only in the form of direct awareness. So when the awareness is first stimulated, then everything will be under control. This is the difference. Am I clear? Now what the master tells us here is, by meditating constantly upon the yellow color, the three higher centers will be stimulated by the forces coming from outside, and the three lower centers will be kept under temporary cut-off. Just as you pull away the plug wire, then there is no stimulation at all of the lower center except for the natural functions which are semi-mechanical and semi-vital and a little bit mental. That is what we call the activity of the rectum and the genitals and the intestines. So, then our journey in life is very, very safe. That's the reason the path of yoga is also of two types. There are two schools of yoga path existing from the very beginning till today. One path is called the right hand path and the other is called the left hand path. The right hand path first deals with the brow center, the throat center, and then the head center, and then again these three centers. Afterwards to the navel center, then to the spleen center, then to the base center. The real abode is established between two centers, the heart center and the head center.